back here. So I want to really go into the concept of Amelus Batoiro. Because this is our parsha. So, the Ohr HaChaim HaKodesh has a kasha. Why the Torah calls Chuka Omo? It says in Mechukois HaTeleichu, Chazal learn Yochol Zekiyum HaMitzvos. That cannot be. Kshoim Eres Mitzvos HaTishmoer Zekiyum Mitzvos Omo. Almani Mekayim Mechukois HaTeleichu. What is Choik? Rules Amelus Batoiro. So I want to know why rules are Amelus Batoiro. Where we learn that Chukim is Amelus Batoiro. So, the Ohr HaChaim brings down the Medrash and Koheles Rabo, Gimel Yud Beis. The Torah HaKadosh HaKadosh Baruch Hu was Goizer, Gozro Chochmosoi, that when a person learns Torah, we forget. Sheyodom Loimed V'Sheichiach. A man learns Torah and he forgets. Hashem made it so. It's a Gzeiro Mishamayim. What's the reason the Medrash says? Why Hashem made that people learn Torah and forget? Ki letam she'ilmod odom Torah b'cheshek tomim. Who cause a man to learn Torah with a tremendous cheshek desire because it's like something new. Kosha atiketo michadato. Old is hard from new, but if you forget, it's like new. Forget it. Comes the Ohr HaChaim HaKodesh, says, that's why we called Chuka, Choik is Amelus Batoiro. Because this is a Choik, it's a mitzvah, which is a rule. Why it's a rule? Even something you learn it once or twice and 3 times and you know it already, still the Torah obligates you to review. And this is the language of the Ohr HaChaim HaKodesh. Ki chofetz Hashem. Hashem desires. Be'esek HaTorah. He desired that we would toil in Torah. Chuka chokak. He ruled a rule that we, because Hashem desires, and Esek HaTorah, so he ruled a rule that even though you know it, still have to learn it. What's the point of learning it again? I know it already. I learned 3 times. This gives an explanation to why the rabbis don't follow the secret of remembering the Torah. The Gemara in 2 places says that the way to really learn properly is to review right away when you learn.
What's that Gemara? What's that Gemara?
2 places. In Eruvin, and yes. And it's another place where Yad Rabbanon is maybe in Broches. No, not in Broches. I just learned it the other day. I'm there, about a year ago. I don't know where I learned it. Which Masechet? Don't remember anymore.
Maybe it's soft Broches.
Maybe. That's it. But anyhow, when we learned Masechet Peah, Yerushalmi in the Yeshiva, I looked it inside also. And anyhow, the Gemara says that the rabbis know it. There's 2 opinions. The Gemara says that's the right way. Why they're not Mekayim? Why the rabbis not Mekayim? If you want to remember, so review it right away. It's very simple. To review right away is very hard. It's like a choik. It's like a rule. You want a little bit to forget it. Wait a couple of days, or finish. Then you learn it again. It's like a new excitement, like I said, learning something new. So they want to have the excitement of learning Torah or something new, so they wait a while. But they lose, they gain the excitement. They gain the excitement. They lose the excitement of they lose the excitement. They lose the benefit of remembering the Torah better, but they gain the excitement of learning it like new because they pass some time. I have a son-in-law. He learns 7 dafs a day. So I said, what are you doing? Learning 7 daf a day. After review, it's better learn half a daf a day and review it. He says, no. He says, I learned 7 dafs a day in 1 year, I finish it. He says he has an uncle, cousin, whatever it is. I learned 7 daf a day. Then he learns the whole Shas in 1 year. And next year, he learns also the whole Shas. He said by the 3rd or 4th year, he just learned it. Like I learned this Gemara Egov, and I just learned that long ago, so I still remember it. It's not enough of a time in 1 year to forget things. And therefore, he says, after you do it 3, 4, 5 times, you almost remember the whole Shas. That's his time. That was his time. I don't know if it's true or not. But anyhow, definitely the Gemara says the right way is to review it right away, then you remember it. Yada berabonon v'la'avdi, the rabbis know and don't do it, they don't keep it because probably they want this, they don't want, although it's a choik, but they don't want to be a choik, they want to be a mitzvah, they want to be excited. So they like, you learn the sugya. How many times, Reb Shlomi, you learn Masechet Ksubis? Many times, right? 10, 15 times. But you still learn with excitement. Why? Because when you learned, you didn't learn till the end. The Tosas there, and a little bit you made rounds, and the Mount Shoy, every part of a sukkah. So now you learn again. You want to conquer some new point. You forgot some of the points. You learn again with excitement. And imagine when we learn now Ksubas 10 times right now, one after the other. This is just you go crazy, right? So much. There's no excitement. And after a year, 2 years, 5 years, 6 years, we learn again. Whoa! Excited, you remember the ideas, you remember the points, you remember the Rosh, you remember the Shitei Yeshana, you remember the Messiah, you remember some points without in details exactly, and you learn excited, in a new light, you think in a new way, and you remember something another way, and you put it here, and you put it again, you come to new ideas, this and that, you're all excited. There's excitement there. So in order for us to have excitement, we don't review it in one shot. That's probably why Yad Rabbanon rabbis know about it and don't do it. But Lemaise, Hashem commands us to know Kol HaTorah Kula. Says, "V'dibalto bom she'v'yoter mechudodim beficho, she'mishalcho domal tegamgem." The Torah has to be so sharp in your mouth that anywhere somebody asks you, you can answer without a way, without stumbling. Boom, 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 boom. So in order to do that, you have to review on the spot. Comes the Ohr HaChaim HaKodesh and he says, when you review on the spot, it means to come like a choik. You know it already, so there's no excitement. You do it because Hashem says, Hashem desired it, so you do it. It's a choik.
No, I don't understand. I mean,
he learns choik, which means excitement.
I don't understand. In quality,
Chukah chokak, which means there's no point of learning it again, of more knowledge. Kind of. It's more of, because Hashem ruled it. Although, Chazal teach us that Divrei Torah, whatever you start memashmes, the more you touch it, the more you find new ideas and new things. There's always new excitement, new understanding. And there was a rabbi, he's still alive, Rabbi Yoshua Cohen, used to teach in Yeshiva many years ago. And he said, before learning 4 times, you never even learned it. You know, you see the picture. Only after 4 times you can see a full picture, then you consider you learned it once. Never learned it.
So what is the Ohr HaChaim saying? I don't understand.
He said, how Chazal learned that Bechukoisa means Amelus B'Torah.
Does a person, when they learn it one time, do they know the whole thing on the highest level of quality?
No.
So then what do you have to do?
He's saying that from the Torah Kedosha's wish is a person should review something 3, 4 times.
Quality or quantity? Is review to learn to get it at the highest in quality?
In a real perfected way, you're only going to know what's really says after 4 times.
Oh, after 4 times you can know the highest level of quality?
Then you start learning.
But there's a different Chazal that say, "Any doing me'avecha."
We'll speak in a second. 1 second. That's enough. Hashem and Moshe Mashiach will make it. The Gemara Megillah says, Hashem will determine between Ovid and Ovid. Says what's in between Ovid and Ovid? Ovid is 100, and 1, and not Ovid is 100.
So what's the difference between 100 and 101?
101 is another level of Avodas Hashem. Submit yourself to Hashem. We'll explain in a second.
Rosh Hashiva,
One
you
second.
said something about writing it or translating
Writing,
it.
they say it's like
four
four times, right? Whatever, it makes more effect in a person's mind. But, obviously, even when a person reviews right away 3, 4, 5, 6 times, every time he reviews it, Hashem gives him another light, another understanding. But it's not enough excitement for which people which don't have the yoke. That's the point. The person that didn't take the yoke of the Torah upon himself, and they're just looking for the excitement of the Chochmas HaTorah, should pull him to the yoke. But not as a yoke of Eved Hashem he's doing because Chayfetz Hashem Basic HaTorah is Chuko Choka. He wants to do it as emotionally excited. He wants to use the Chochmas HaTorah's excitement to pull him in. So therefore, people don't want to review on the spot 4 or 5 times. They want to wait a while and then review it again to get the excitement of Chochmas HaTorah to get him really, to pull them in. But really, obviously, like you said in Yisrael Chaim, when a person learns it again and again at the same time, always will see something deeper that he didn't realize before. Chazal teaches, not only Chazal teaches us, it's a reality. Look at yourself. You saw the sugi again another time, you see the deeper, you polish a little bit more here, but it's so fine-tuned details that it's not enough for people which are not only Yira Hashem and Oivda Hashem, who is the word, to be excited for. So when he's talking about, it's like a choy means the outside, not in the fine-tuned things which makes Oivda Hashem excited. The simple people, simple Talmidei Chachamim are not excited with a little bit more fine-tuned. Because they're not really Yira Shamayim to really want to know that Hashem's will to that degree. It makes them happy that the Hashem wanted to say here to that degree.
So the Sage in the Gemara didn't have this quality?
Who?
The Chachamim in the Gemara didn't have this
Rabbanon. Rabbanon in
They
general.
were lacking this quality?
I don't know. That's the most Yad Chachamim. They don't do it. They don't do it that way.
I don't know. I would say that the Chachamim in the Gemara, surely they learned it 101 times because that's only for quality. And whatever he's talking about is for something else, for memory.
The Gemara says the proper way is to review on the spot. Yad Rabbanon, they don't do it.
The Gemara brings maybe 55 the shots. Rav Sheshes says Chazar Rabbein Pam.
20 times.
So many places in the shot says immediately when you get heard, immediately you want the Chazar. Every time.
40 times.
Immediately 40
Munach
times.
Bekufsa. Okay.
I get the you said you read it?
No, I didn't read it.
I know the Gemara told you now.
I don't know who he gave me. Who is he?
It says that Baruch every time you viewed 100, it's like 10 times, like it got me so excited like the first time.
But most people are not like that. 99% are not like that. Why you don't review every day 4 times?
Same story.
Don't talk to me garbage. Why you don't review? Yosef Chaim talking big. You're talking I'm telling Yeshiva 20 years. And I review every time 4 times. You pick up your hands. And everybody's like you. Same thing. I'm like you. Like you. Depends certain years I used to. Used to review when I was younger. I was harder at the time. It's interest, more pressure, obligation, stories, tirutzim. Alavai, we can answer that. Tirutzim in front of Hashem.
But I do the Ian stuff, I do again.
Right? Yes. Ian was like 100 times. You go back and forth, all around. So you're going over it 100 times. That's Ian. Okay, so we make Kaim and an Ian. But not in the Bekiyas. Not in the Kaim Bekiyas. But I had we had Moed Hashamayim. And Moed Hashem. And Moed Hashem as a choik. I'm a yoke of Hashem. Whatever He says, I'm doing it. I'm doing my excitement, not my excitement. I'm doing what's right, what Hashem wants, what I want, not my excitement. So you'll do what the rabbi said. You review it 4 times.
At least.
That's why it says 100, 101 is Oived Hashem. 100 times you're not Oived Hashem. 101 you're Oived Hashem. It says when Mashiach will come, Hashem will make a separation, a distinction between Rosh or the Tzaddik and between serving of Hashem and not servant of Hashem. The Gemara in Megillah says, who's Oived Hashem? One who learns 101. One who learns 100 times, not Oived Hashem. Not Oived Hashem? Yeah. Because you're using the excitement of the Torah, the Iyun, the excitement of the Torah to pull you into learn. And you're not really doing Hashem's will because you're totally a slave 100%. Doesn't matter 100, 200 times. You're not going nowhere. You're just doing to know Hashem's will to the end degree. Every word He says. You're excited.
It says in that Gemara that Ben Heya is this kasha to Hillel. And Beis Hillel, and Hillel, he asked exactly the question you just asked right now. He asked that to Hillel, and Hillel answered him. And he said, go to the market of the donkey drivers. 1 mile, you get 1. 10, you go for 1. But if you go 11, you go 2. So what was Hillel's answer? What was his answer?
But still, the end of the game, my answer's there.
What's
The
Pshat?
second my
Tell me
answer.
Pshat, Rav Shlomo. Tell me Pshat.
I tell you,
What's the
I
Pshat?
tell the Pshat.
What's the Pshat?
The Pshat is like this. When you do 100, he did to 1 point. When you do extra 1, he's starting a new level of another 100.
So is that in?
And that's
That's in
correct.
the knowledge of understanding.
That
So that's
means,
in
no,
knowledge of
it's
understanding.
It's the
Echos of understanding.
No, Eichos of a new stage.
Echos of
A new
Avodas
stage.
Hashem. Echos of Avodas Hashem.
Avodah Hashem.
My understanding is very simple. They asked the Chazon Ish, how can you cause your children who are born religious to have Yiras Shamayim? If they were not born unreligious and have Yiras Shamayim, and the whole coming of learning Torah comes from fear of Hashem, that's one thing. When you're born religious, you do it because your father is saying it. When it's you are wanting to know Hashem's will to that degree. He says, Digduk Allah. When a person wants to know the exact way and implement Hashem's wish and will in his life from the nth degree in details to the T, as they say in English, there a person is being judged as Yiras Shamayim. I'm saying the same thing is here. When a person reviews on the spot 4 times, 100 times, what does it really show? The person doesn't do it. It's exactly what I said. If a person doesn't review right away, so then he loves Hashem, he fears Hashem, and he wants to learn Torah, otherwise what are you doing here? He can be at home. But on what level of Yiras Shamayim does he have? What level of submitting himself to Hashem as an Eved, as a slave? What level? There's levels. No, all the same. Well, I mean, it's not the same. The fact is, the proof of the pudding is, that a person really is an Eved Hashem, and he really wants to know Hashem's will to that degree. It doesn't matter for him if he's learning something new or old. The excitement is not the point. The excitement is I'm doing Hashem's will. It's not the information and the knowledge of Hashem, which is G'liyoch of Hashem. It's the tzivur, it's the metzaveh, it's the words of Hashem. And you want to know, and since Hashem tells you, V'shinam tov shedevoteh mechudodi, v'dibarto bom, you always have to talk to Torah. You have to be sharp. You have a chiyuv to remember. So that's the way to do it. So you do it. No. Why people don't do it? Why people are lazy? Because the foundation, push, of and what level they are submitting themselves to become Eved Hashem. They want to use the excitement of Chochmas Hashem and the Simcha as the Sochotcher Rebbe. You know Sochotcher Rebbe? The Igleita that says this is the essence of Torah, and that where it makes the Torah become part in our blood, which is great. It's a physical thing, but should not be the motive. Should be a supplement.
Why should we turn that into the bad
Should be
guy?
a supplement, not a motive.
This Zach is not a bad guy? That
The Gemara in Megillah says Hashem calls him Eno Ibn Hashem. Ben Avodo Lelo Avodo. Maybe not serving. I'm talking about the highest level. We're not talking about Tzaddik and Rosh.
You can say a different shot in the Gemara. I mean, in the
You
Gemara,
can say your pshat. I'm going to tell you my feeling and my understanding of my own self.
Who desires to understand on the highest level, so then he keeps on going and going and going until he gets to the highest level. Understand?
There's a famous story. There's a famous story. There's a famous story
I saw somebody
of Reb Chaim Kanievsky. When he was a young guy, somebody says, I want to be your chavrusa. He says, you really want to be my chavrusa? He says, only one condition. You have to be here, let's say 8 o'clock in the morning. I go home at 7 o'clock at night. There's straight 10 hours learning. No break. Never be sick. There's no excuses. 0 excuses. My wife gave birth. Bris Milah, weddings, nothing. 0. You willing to do that? You be my chavrusa. That was still Chakanevsky.
Yeah.
The guy I wanted to go to his Rebbe, he was a Chassid, a Rebbe or something, Rebbe came in, to Yisrael. Whatever the whole story was, that in the end he went, and afterwards he became sick, and the Chaim says he can't learn with me anymore. That's a famous story. Everybody knows that story. So, what I learned from that story, anybody learns in Koilin. There were 100,000 Koilin guys in the same time that Chaim Kanievsky learned that morning, and we came every morning to learn. But why Chaim Kanievsky became Gadol Hador, and whatever he said, the whole world listened to him, and you remember Kol HaTevekol. Because it starts with his commitment when he's learning. What was his Yesoid? His Yesoidim, when he went to learn. The Gemara says, it's a Mishnah. It's not a Gemara, it's a Mishnah, Masechet Sova, spelling base. The Mishnah says why we say first Shema Yisrael and then V'ahavta L'Shem. So the Gemara says first you have to accept the yoke of Malchut Shamayim, and then you do the mitzvahs. If the mitzvahs is a result of the yoke, then the mitzvah becomes very easy. But if I'm doing the mitzvahs, and while I'm doing the mitzvah, each mitzvah I'm taking the yoke of that mitzvah, and I'm using tricks and turns to be excited mitzvah to do another yoke and to extend the mitzvah, stay there davening. I came late, I want to run to this, now this day they're davening long, I want to daven short today, I don't feel so well today, this and that, so I didn't take the yoke of davening long, so now it becomes being itchy, or today the Seder's too long, after that I don't feel it, so then it's the yoke of that Seder, that mitzvah specifically. Now it didn't work out according to my situation today. So they're becoming now unnerving for me and bothering me. But if the Kabbalah, so Malchut Shamayim to start with, was very strong, my Mekabel to learn every day, no matter what, sick, not sick, everything is canceled. The whole world is canceled. Botala, he gives a get. Toilo Maseh, and nothing else beside that. So then when he learns, it's a different learning. He learns to the end, his capacity, his heart is open because he's total Meshabbos of Hashem. So then he can, Chaim Kanievsky wasn't a smart man. He was supposed to be, he was known to be a Benoini. But he was able to read a book and maybe a whole book like this thick in maybe 20 minutes. He knew it all by heart. He looked like this. People ask him after this question. Because when your yoke is so strong and you're totally open to receive any wisdom of Hashem, if your funnel is so big, everything just goes in. But when you're itchy on time, like you see sometimes at the end of the Seder, you're already itching, you don't have the heart to learn, so then the capacity of wisdom cannot enter you anymore. This is a fact. Anyone who learns Gemara and Torah and Yeshiva can tell you that. And the experience is. Right or wrong? You don't have to answer yourself. So therefore, what shows? What's really a show? But a person that really is totally hyped up in his Kabbalah's Malchut Shamayim 100%. And he's not going nowhere. He just eats almost because he faints if he doesn't eat. Yeah, he has to continue on. But he only wants to continue to learn afterwards, and he's not running nowhere. And there is all Achmata is totally being his unto Hashem. Such a guy, his learning is different. His capacity of receiving is different. 100, 101, that's the difference. How much you accepted the yoke of Hashem or Malchut Shamayim before you learned the Torah. It's not the yoke of Torah I took upon myself. I took myself the yoke of Hashem 100% to do with Hashem's will. So whatever he tells me is this wisdom that's excited. I'm not using the wisdom and the happiness that comes through the wisdom of the Torah to pull me in to my accepting of my yoke. Is that what's happening? That's a normal time talk.
The excitement of the Torah is perceiving.
100% it should be a supplement, not a siba. Not a siba. It should be a supplement that is there to help.
That's the purpose.
But a simple person. But a person that accepted the yoke of Malchut Shamayim, like you see, the fact is, when somebody has a tremendous tzor, let's see, he was in a car accident, Chas v'sholem, it was a big sickness, and this and what else, and he was saved. I met many guys like that. The day after, they come to yeshiva with a desire to learn Torah day and night, and they can sit and learn 10 hours straight, nothing bothers them. They have no other desire to do Hashem's will. Not running away. Only Hashem. And they can learn, they can pass it. But once they start dilly-dallying and they go home, they start eating, drinking, talking to this, saying that, really the desires of the Hashem's yoke start dissipating and going away down. It's a different story. And people after Yom Kippur. Yom Kippur, you're all hyped up, Rosh Hashanah, Hashem is the Melech, and he's the king. And then what happens? What Yom Kippur is, they build a sukkah, they put some music in the house, dancing, eating, this and that. Well, you should have been learning it. If you continue the level of Yom Kippur, and the next day you want to have the downside, and you'll be learning Torah day and night.
Listen, what was the mistake? What's the mistake?
There's no mistake.
They didn't make a mistake. Those people made a mistake.
No.
What was the mistake?
It's you have to mekabel or malchus shamayim
But they did whatever they did. The next day they did 10 hours. What did they do wrong?
The 10 hours they did was accepting a specific yoke of the 10 hours. It's not that they totally bend themselves to Hashem.
Right, but how could they?
And
so what could
it's
they
like
do?
a rabbi
What could they
told
possibly
me,
do?
once I explained it, there was a rabbi that told me, in the level of accepting the yoke, there was a rabbi that told me that he opened a koilel for people who learn Torah at night. They learn, let's say, from 1 o'clock at night till the morning, to around 9, 10 o'clock in the morning. Then they go sleep a little bit, eat and sleep. And they start learning at 3 o'clock in the afternoon again. That's what they do. And their night sleep turns into the day. He said, those type of guys, they give a gift. They learn like this for years and years. They give a gift. They don't go to weddings. They don't go to party. Everything is dead. They learn Benaz Man and Zman. They learn all the time like that. That's what they learn. Which means they made a decision that that's where they want to be. That's where they're at. And everything else is dead. In the modern world, which have electricity, people up all night, there's dancing and singing and there's events, it's a big decision. And once they make the decision, they have no problem to do that. They're there. A guy that wants to join that coil, he tells me, and he didn't make that decision, he suffers. Because he suddenly has a wedding he has to go to, and it bothers him, this, that. And sometimes he does go, goes back, he's all mixed up. So it's the same idea. The question, how strong is the Kabbalah's Ol Malchus Shamayim, Kabbalah's Ol
So what causes somebody to make a strong decision?
I don't know. We have to talk about it. If I knew that secret, I'll do it too. I try all the time, but
We're here. Everybody's here for
we have to do it here. Okay, we have to accept it ourselves. Forget about the past. Let's do it now. Forget about the past. Let's do it now. Actually, the Kabbalah ourselves on Malchus Shamayim. But the point is, the Ohr HaChaim says that why is Bechukoisai is Chukah? The Amelus represents a Chukah. I think you talk about the higher level of Amelus. The higher level of Amelus is the Siba Moya, the Soidin of the Amelus is not the excitement. The Soidin is the Choikav Hashem, I'm doing Hashem's will. So then 10 times, 3 times, right away to do that, it doesn't matter. The excitement is a supplement. And the Meil Hashem will reward me that every time I learn, I'll find those little fine tuning, I'll be excited from that. Because Avira Shamayim, so I'm excited about that. But a person that doesn't have Avira Shamayim, so he's not so excited about fine tuning. So then he's looking for the big excitement, because that way also to pull himself in. So he does reviews, only after a long time, longer time, etc. It's a very big musal for ourselves, especially the people who learn Torah for many years in yeshiva. I don't know how many guys here already. 7 years here, I've been on, right? Long time, have to be married already. But B'ezrat Hashem, the right time. And those who learn in 20, 30, 50 years learning Torah in yeshiva, Baruch Hashem. It's a big bracha. But, as my father says in Mordechai, now we talk about Yirah Shamayim Pnimis, he says. There's an inner Yirah Shamayim. As we talk about the Kabbalah Ol Malchus Shamayim. Is you can think you're Yirah Shamayim, but the fact is that you're not reviewing on the spot 4 times, 10 times, or whatever it is. And you're not looking to the fine, you're not excited with the fine tuning, a very little point of Chazal in the Torah, Hashem's rule to the degree. It shows that there's a lack of Yirah Shamayim. There's a lack of Kabbalah Ol Malchus Shamayim. This is very serious. We can cheat ourselves and well, the rabbis are the same, so we gotta be good. No. The fact is that you don't know Kol HaTorah Kula. It's a big shame and a big caution on our Yirah Shamayim. We have to change that. And you can't say, okay, maybe I like that. Already 20 years, everybody, no. Hashem expects me to be 100%. We can start today. Not today. We have to learn Musa to ourselves, real Musa. All other Musas are good, but this is the true hardest Musa from all the Musas.
Repeat the same phrase 30 minutes.
What?
Repeat the same phrase 30 minutes. Like Rav Salanter.
Right.
30 minutes, the same phrase.
Doesn't
Over and
matter.
over again.
It's not the point, it's to Hashem's will. And this is very serious. Hashem should give us a bracha. Very serious. It's so serious that we actually can cry. Crying. It's those I went to Torah for so many years and put their life into Torah. They can cry. This is so serious. You can be learning so many years, but you're not really doing 100%, fully 100%. You need to let strength, like he said, give me the formula. I don't think it's so much formula. We have to do it. We have to make a decision. Learn Musa every day, right? We have a Musa yeshiva. We have to learn Musa every day and focus on our goals. Yesoid HaChasidus, v'shodesh ha'avoda atmimo she'yizbarem v'yisames etzel odo. Should be clear and truthful to our hearts. What does that choiva? So you have to clarify first of all. Now we talk about to clarify. What's wrong? Clarify. You know why we're not reviewing? Because we're not really 100%. We're doing it for the excitement and not for Hashem's will. 100%. We have to accept the yoke. Especially it's about you have to. She's honest, and it has to be truth to our heart, clear and truth to our heart. What is that choiva? We have that clear and truthful to our heart, and we focus on it every day. We learn Musa 15 minutes, 20 minutes, be slavus with tears and crying to Hashem. We have a base Musa here. This Musa should be open. People that be excited with Musa. Reb Shlomo, you start making a Vada Musa. Who wants to be Rachamim, Binyamin, Yoshua? You want to be in the Reb Shlomo's new Vada today? Yeah. Make a new Vada. Yosef, you want to be part of that Vada?
Yeah.
So let's start Vada Musa, Reb Shlomo.
Yeah, I have to do it myself first.
You wait for yourself, you're going to wait for another 30 years. You do it yourself and to get together. You start right away. This is not news, this is real. And time passes by.
We have, the Rosh Hashiva doesn't say shir on Tuesday,
You learn
Wednesday.
together.
I know that. I know you learn. That's what I'm talking to you
Tuesday,
guys.
Wednesday, we could do.
I'm not talking to the guys which are not in Besmedish. They don't even hear me. They're not around to hear. Talk about those that are in the Chacham which are in the Besmedish all their life. And the tzaddikim. Talking to them. They want to be in the highest level it can be. I'm talking about guys in the room, walking around in different stores. I'm not talking to them. They don't even hear me. You understand?
Every Tuesday and Wednesday, we try to have a group of Muslims.
Okay,
Very good. Musa and focus on Kabbalah Somat Shamayim. You hear that with Yoshua? Should grab a group too. Pushing yourself. I was very happy. My brother Yosef told me that he had a fight between you and him. Who's going to grab some students? You're already fighting to get students. And he told me he won. I said, "Oh, it doesn't matter. You want to give you respect because you're a rabbi. You have the son of Rosh Hashiva." When read him, I was excited. He had a fight ready. He grabbed boys to teach. I was very pleased with it. So you should continue on more. Grab groups, teaching Torah, and accept the yoke of Malchus Shamayim. This is real. This is the heart. This is the eye of the story. This is the eye. This is the hardest thing to do. There is. Or Chaim HaKodesh wrote 48 Pirushim. 48 Pirushim. 48, right? Right?
Yeah.
39. Yes, 42. No, how much he wrote? 42. 42 Pirushim. And what is Bechukoi Saiteleichu? Kevamelu Batoyo. His last paper was the 42nd pshat. You know what he says? When you mishtadel and learning Torah, to teach and to learn and to teach from yourself like a bchira, then you're not going to need malachim to pull you. If you learn Torah as a choik, to leich, you walk yourself. You don't have to pull you. You can walk yourself in. You don't need angel to help you to pull you in Torah. This is what he said. There's a lot of perushim here. What Pshal means at Telechu. It's a big musa for us. That Hashem, as Mechilta says, that Hashem ta'ev, Hashem desires And the Bnei Yisrael will be Amel Bater, there will be Omer Bater. Omer Bater is the biggest Kavod Hashem in the world. And the Jews submit themselves to Omer Bater. There's no greater Kavod for Hashem for that than we're Amelus Bater. So when we have that, Amelus Bater, it's Kavod Hashem. That's why Hashem created the world for His honor. So what is honor? This is the peak of the honor. What level of honor? Not the honor of normal Talmid Chacham. Hashem demands us to be the top of the top, to be totally yoke of Hashem, avodoi, 101 times, totally doing Hashem's will, totally because I'm learning because Hashem, I'm doing the truth because this is the truth. And then the good will come out of it. That's a sign, a supplement. The excitement makes me want my blood. Those are physical things. That's not the reason, the foundation I'm doing that. The foundation I'm doing it the truth because it's the truth. Hashem said it's a choik. Hashem should give us the bracha to reach there, to be there. And we'll see Mashiach Tzidkenu Rabbeinu Omer. Rabbi Chananya ben Akash Yoimer, רוצה הקדוש ברוך הוא לזכת ישראל לפיכך. עיר בו למתר מצוין, שנאמר לרוב את זמן תתקוי, יגדיל תוירו וידיר. Yeah, how many guys?
You have two there.
You have 10. Saleu Yizkanei Shemei Rabo. Be'olmo, Nivro Hussein, Yaniv Hussein, Bechai Echoni, Yoim Echoni,